thank you so much for watching my new show, The Hey Mikey Show, on YouTube TV. You guys, I have some amazing interviews coming up for you over the next few weeks and a few months. And the first one is going to be with Mr. Nicco Annan. You guys know Nicco Annan from Starz hit series P-Valley.
I need you to break a hand.
Who better to learn from than an OG like me?
Mercedes' last dance. I'm gonna take over your Sunday night set.
You know how fellas go crazy for the new girls? Once upon a time, I took a wrong turn.
I've been up and down this river looking for you.
I got the heart of a lion. I got no love for the ones on the feet.
Life is just a long day's journey into tomorrow.
I'm gonna go hard till they lock me away.
You just gotta make it through the long, dark nights.
P-Valley has taken the country by storm. Set in the fictional small town of Chucalissa, Mississippi, pretty much the show centers around a group of strippers working at a club called The Pink. Uncle Clifford is one of the main characters of P-Valley. The actor Nicco Annan plays him, and he is dynamic, colorful, eccentric, and above all, lovable. He's kind of the heart of the strip club in Chucalissa, Mississippi called The Pink. He's the owner, and he's kind of the madam of the situation, where he not only takes care of himself and the business, but all the ladies that work there, employing a large array of people and doing his best to keep Chucalissa City a place where everybody can have fun. I got a chance to sit down with Nicco Annan shortly before the season finale of P-Valley, and it was amazing. Nicco is heartwarming, he's wise, he's so kind, and I felt extremely honored to sit down and talk with him. So I want you guys to sit back, relax, and enjoy yourselves. And stay tuned. What's up, everybody? I am sitting right here with our new favorite TV personality, Nicco Annan, aka Uncle Clifford, from Starz' hit show P-Valley. How you doing today, Nicco?
I'm great. What's up, Mikey ATL? What's good with y'all?
Doing great, man. Let me tell you, you are doing amazing things. We love Uncle Clifford. Sunday is now a new official day because of you and The Pink.
I rebuke that because Sunday always been a day for the Lord. So, you know, but I receive it for The Pink. I receive it for The Pink. All the love and everything has really been great.
Listen, you're not going to send me to hell for a character. That's what you're not going to do.
Okay, that's what you're not going to do. That's what you're not going to do is talk about Uncle Clifford and took over the Sabbath. That ain't the truth. That ain't the light, and it ain't the way.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Nicco, tell me about you. I mean, we see Uncle Clifford every Sunday, but who is the man behind Uncle Clifford? Like, tell us your background. Where you from? Like, what's up?
I'm from Detroit, born and raised in the D. My dad is from Ghana, hence Nicco Annan.
Wow.
Yeah, my mom has roots. My mom's side of the family, all the roots are down in Mobile. And folks, just like in Detroit, I always say they just came on up north, it's up south as opposed to down south. So it's all of that. And I was that kid that was in, that always did like the speeches and the presentations, you know, in school. And I wanted to be like Leroy on Fame. You know, just like you got your locks right now, you know what I'm saying? I had my cornrows going to the back, and I was just like, you know, I'm gonna dance, I'm gonna get it, you know. And my mom put me in a dance class, one of those Dolly Dinkle dance class, but it was beautiful for me. It was on 6 Mile in Livernois, Techniques Unlimited, and I started dancing there, and that was when I was about 13, and in my teen years growing up, like dance and theater started to talk to me, and they were means of expression. They were means of me finding like a voice. And in high school, I was in dance workshop and started to study with improv comedy troupes, and I had started taking technique classes that were rooted in acting, and that ultimately led me to that conversation of, do you want to dance or do you want to act? You know, and what is that going to be? Because everybody always just kept telling me like, oh, you too big to be a concert dancer. You're never going to get into Alvin Ailey. You're not going to make it. So it was all of these things, and then people were like, oh, but you know, if you want to act, you know, you have to play straight, you have to learn how to tune yourself down, and just all of these things, right? So it started there. Yeah. Luckily, I always fought, and I'm gonna say that there's a lot of ways. I mean, I could go deeper with this, but the honest and truth to you is that because of being teased, because of being heckled at those comedy shows in high school, because of all of those things, I got tough skin. I got tough skin. Those were the things that helped to define for me the young man that I was. I've always had women and men, straight and on the spectrum of the LGBTQ community, that always stood up in protection, you know, of me. Like, you know, it was so funny when in high school it would be like, Nicco ain't gay, he just funny. And it'd be like,
you're like, wait a minute.
Okay, you know what? Y'all have that battle. For me, in my mind, it was y'all have that battle. This is what I see. Because you know, we were talking about God earlier, and my faith is very important. And as is, you know what I'm saying, my ATL situation. Yeah. God is dope. I love that store and everything it stands for. But I just knew that I was thinking about what am I gonna say on Johnny Carson when he asks me if I'm gay? Like, right. That's what I was thinking in my head as a child. Those were the notes. I didn't have a diary. I just used the Mead spiral notebook, and that's what I was writing down. So like I remember when I was 14, I wrote, was I about 14? It was somewhere in there. But I wrote for about a week and transcribed all of the interviews that Johnny Carson and Ed McMahon had on their show, of like questions that they asked, because in my mind, there wasn't that visibility. I didn't see gay men or gay women on TV on large platforms like that. So I just was like, when I'm there, what am I going to say? And the key part for that was I saw and I felt when. It wasn't about what if. So adversity helped me in my life to help give me direction, is the point of that story.
Because you're a very confident person from what I can see and sense, and with how you carry yourself. And I feel you when you say the thing about boxes. One of the things that I advocate about is body positivity when it comes to men, especially in the men of all sizes, you know, are sexy and need to be appreciated as such. And we have to stop.
You better say that. You better say that.
Because they because they don't seem to get it, and we're gonna beat it into their head until they do. So I love that you use those boxes that people are trying to get you into to build a platform to get you to this breakout role. Which, by the way, how did you get the role of Uncle Clifford?
Back in 2009. You said, "Oh, wait a minute." Yeah, that's also a part of this this joy, this platform, is that you guys are seeing it, you know, but I know that this is not overnight. You know, I know that this is long time. This is a long seed. This has been a harvest that's been in the making for a long time. So it makes it all that much more sweet. But back in 2009, Katori was having a salon series. Essentially, it was a bunch of creatives. It was just a bunch of Black creatives getting together that wanted to share their voice and wanted to have like either musicians or actors to put their work on. This was specifically writers, Black writers. And one of the other writers in the collectives, her name is Dominique Mariso. She and Katori were friends and, you know, colleagues. And I knew Dominique from where? Detroit.
Yeah.
From high school. Yeah. And so we were grown at this time. We had graduated. I went to Purchase College. I studied at the conservatory program there, and had moved on. And I was a choreographer in residence at the Yale School of Drama, and doing all of the many different things in New York City as an artist to make, you know, ends meet, but to keep artistry going. Pushing the story forward, Katori was like, I'm looking for a person. I have this character that's in my head, and I need a person that can like house femininity, masculinity, and I don't know. I'm having a hard time finding this person, because she had gone to a lot of, she was in the midst of her process of research. So she had talked to she did like about 40 or 60, I think it was 40.
Right.
No, it was 40 female dancers and like 60 different clubs or something across the country. I can't remember. It's 40 or 60, one of the two. The character had come to her, you know, in a vision that she had. And Dominique was like, oh, I think you should look at my friend Nicco. And so she was like, oh, okay, cool. You know, tell him to come by on Monday. It was literally just like this kind of connection. It was artists that were on the same platform. Wasn't nobody on no TV show. Neither one of them. They currently are on Broadway right now because Katori has Tina the Musical on Broadway, and Dominique has Ain't Too Proud, The Temptations on Broadway. But it all started from just networking across. That thing that Issa Rae says, you know, vote for everybody black, you know, and like network across those real quotable things that she said like 2 years ago or what have you, is very true. It is very, very true. You don't always have to like reach for someone that's above you. You are better off served by reaching for someone that is actually behind you and helping to pull them forward, you know, or lowering your wings a little bit so you can let someone else get a little rise.
I like that because it's so much competition, especially when it comes to stuff like being the Black LGBTQ community, where I try to tell them like we don't have to fight to make it. It's room on the stage for all of us. It's enough stage for everybody.
Yeah, everybody thought about the whole thing about even with the audition. They were like, oh, well, if you started off in the reading of this and you did like workshops after workshops after workshops over the years of this piece, and then ultimately in 2015, we did the full production of it, which was at Mixed Blood Theater in Minneapolis.
Right.
And then it comes to network, and it's like, some people were like, well, why'd you have to audition? And I didn't think I wasn't thinking about it like that, Mike. I literally was like, oh, this is great. This is such a huge role. I know who she is. I know who Uncle Clifford is. But that doesn't mean that the world does yet. And it is not my place to hold on to that and to be selfish, because the magic that I saw on that page is everything. And if someone else in Arkansas or someone else in DC, someone else in Atlanta could be inspired by what's on that page just like me, I'm not supposed to hold on. I'm not supposed to hold on to that for myself.
And what's for you is for you. That's just
Exactly. I knew that I was like, okay, I've been doing Broadway. I've been doing, you know, the New York Regional Theater and all that kind of stuff. I knew I wasn't a big household name. So in my mind, I was thinking, okay, it's the Hollywood machine. They're going to go for a big name. They're going to do this. They're going to try to, and I was like, okay, I still know who she is.
Right.
So anybody can do whatever they want to do. And you should, because I think it's about the exercising of the machine, the exercising of, this is the material in front of me, this is how I digest it, let me give it to you. This process right here, this secular process, that's what the art is about. And that's why we do it, you know what I mean? So the fact that other LGBTQ people were being inspired because there was a role that had this volume. There was a role that was this complex. And the fact that I think that some people could go for it, audition for it, read it, or turn it down, because there were a lot of people, men and women, that I know other females that went out for other roles in the cast, you know, outside of Uncle Clifford.
I know what he did myself, yeah.
Yeah. And I'll never forget this one time, Mike, this one girl, she said, she didn't know my history with the show. And she talked about the show and she was like, oh, my agent called me about this, blah, 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 blah. No, but I was like, this is ghetto. I don't want to do that. And I was just like, I looked at her and I was like, I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you. Because our people, she was a Black woman. And I told her, I said, we are so many things, and I'm happy that you turned it down. I said, I'm happy that you turned it down. And she was like, yeah. She was on that tip like, yeah, right, stand by me. And I was like, actually, no, because I wouldn't want to work with that.
Me neither.
Yeah.
That leader's view, that attitude, because Blacks have so many different stories. And it's not always ritzy and posh. Sometimes it's down low, dirty. Let's just show the full spectrum of Black people.
That's right.
Let's show the humanity of Black people.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
we all connecting with our grandmothers, whether your grandmother's from the South or whether your grandmother's from the North. You know, she was either cooking northern beans and having some cornbread on the side, you know what I mean? or taking you and saying, oh, we're going to go to Jacobson's for lunch. I'm going to go shopping. My grandmother was a little bit like Loretta Devine's interpretation of Ernestine, but my grandmother also, we went shopping at department stores. She and her friend Miss Jones. I don't remember Miss Jones' her first name, but she always just called her Miss Jones, and Miss Jones called my grandma Miss Hughley, and I was the grandson that would come along, and they would go shopping at the department store, and then sit and have lunch and have, you know, these are these forks, you knew which to use. And then we went home and we was picking beans on the porch.
It tells me that she was raised right, that you got a good
Come on.
So tell me about the impact of Uncle Clifford on your life.
There's so many things. The first of which I will say, somebody asked me this yesterday, just in regular conversation. So you on the beat.
Yeah.
Exactly. I would say, first of all, playing Uncle Clifford and wearing her skin has opened up my eyes even more so to be able to see that wholeness and balance in people. I've always been a person that has sight. You know, I'm a very good reader of energy and all of that. But with Uncle Clifford, playing her and walking in her shoes and skin, so to speak, for 6 months of this process, but all these years and this culmination, it helps me to see when people are in balance, male or female or however they identify. It's for me that balance in people to say, oh, she's in touch with her power. He's in touch with his vulnerability or his sensibilities. Right. So that's one. And another impact that Uncle Clifford has had on my life, it's a lot of healing. I feel a lot of healing. It feels like the conversations that I am having. The streets have their own conversations, but the conversations that I'm having and the conversations that are coming to me, especially because in this pandemic, not reaching everybody, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's a lot of healing. I get tons of DMs from mothers referring to their experience of mothering children on the spectrum and how they are seeing understanding. I am getting messages from a lot of gay men or same gender loving men, let me say, for the representation. And those messages, it's interesting, when they come, they typically are like 1 or 2 sentences. And then I get messages, the most impactful that or that I'm really feeling, are coming from straight brothers, straight Black brothers. Wow. And those are brothers that are confessing, oh, yo, I ride with you. I've been messed up. I didn't see this. Or I had a cousin that was like this, like Uncle Clifford. And you know what? I got to do better. I got to check my friends. My brother, J. Alphonse Nicholson, that plays Lil Murder, we did a live this week because I did a whole series of lives.
You did a whole series with the Men of the Pink, which I love. And you talked about toxic masculinity, you talked about a host of things. And that is so important because toxic masculinity, I tell people, it keeps men from being human.
Yeah.
You don't let them be vulnerable. You don't let them feel. You relegate them to a role of you got to provide, and you have to be so stone cold and hard. When in actuality, you human just like any female is, and bleed, you cry, you get hurt, you get down, you get depressed, and that's okay. It's okay to not be okay and be a man at the same time.
Amen. And it's something that I feel like we are all taught. You know, whether you are same gender loving or other,
whatever race, across the board. To me, it's just to be that force, to be this wall. But I think more increasingly, we're realizing that, you know, that death rate amongst us is so high and we die so young to the stress of that. You know, when you think about how that affects other communities of people, toxic masculinity is killing trans men and women every single day. It's causing child abuse. It's causing domestic violence. These men are so scared of anything that stirs their power that they're willing to kill or destroy it. So we got to break that wall down. We have to talk about that. And it's one of the things like P Valley, because you see Lil Murder and you see Uncle Clifford's relationship. And I thought it was so interesting when Uncle Clifford, you know, he was willing to stay in the closet, like, listen, this not what we're gonna be doing. But Lil Murder said, so wait a minute, that's it? All we're gonna do is suck and fuck in the dark? And I said, oh, he wants to be out with him. I thought he was really feeling him. And I said, let's see that. Let's normalize allowing people to like what they like. Even when Lil Murder's friend said, you know, the heart wants what it wants.
Yeah, his manager, Wody.
That was amazing.
Mm-hmm. We all have experience like that. We all have that hood friend that may be a little bit awful, but like you talk a lot of stuff, you talking crazy, but actually it makes sense. You know, like that's Wody, you know, to me. That's Wody. Because he worked at a funeral home and, you know, like how this brother that has all this complexity, that's one of the things with the show, every character is just so nuanced and exactly. I just think that it's interesting. There's a point that's something that most people don't talk about when it comes to Lil Murder and Uncle Clifford's relationship, and that's the age difference. And I think that Uncle Clifford is 38 in the script, and sometimes the older, same gender-loving people, they come with a different set of baggage. They come with a different set of heartstrings or chain links around their heart because they have endured, they have seen so much. Whereas younger people, they grew up with Barack Obama as the president. They grew up with exactly, it was a different world. So it's interesting when you talk about generational love. It's interesting to me when you talk about love at first sight, because most Black people don't think that we have the luxury of experiencing love at first sight, you know? So yeah, that is what the story is all about possibility, that love can live here. Yeah. I told you, that's why I said I wasn't taking no credit for the.
you just touched my heart when you said that.
Because it can. Love can live here. So to me, like even seeing that relationship, I think it's resonating with people, I hope, because they're seeing beyond these figures. They're seeing two spirits, literally, just being attracted to one another. And that's it. I think that, you know, sometimes people, whether it's Little Murder or whether it's the girls, Mercedes, Autumn, Mississippi Gidget, or Big L, people see mother, father, and Uncle Clifford. They see sister, they see auntie, uncle, friend. It's everybody. If you can be all things and different things to all people, and that does not mean that you yourself are relegated to one of those boxes. It's simply how that person intertwines with you. That's how I experience it.
That is amazing. What you just said is everything. Uncle Clifford, to me, I told people, he's the nexus of the show. Everybody crisscrosses his character at some point in time. He's the one character everybody has in common, even if they don't like him. With that being said, what are your favorite scenes to film? Would you say?
My favorite scenes, I would definitely say I love when we are in like club night and we turned up and everything like that. And I love that because it is so theatrical. It reminds me, it feels like when we were doing the play, because we had live pole dancing every night on stage. The audience, most of which don't normally go to a strip club, you know, they're in the whole magic of it all because it's a whole Cirque du Soleil. It's a whole experience. So I love those things.
Right.
I thought you was about to throw it up. Mike. I thought you was. Oh, yes, what do you call it? What else? I really love the scenes. I love, honestly, the scenes outside of the club just as much because you get to see us as full people. Yeah. I love being in the nail salon. I love when I get to go home. I love the barbershop. That barbershop.
That scene was deep because the thing I tell people, y'all just don't know where they was coming from with that. A lot of Black gay men have said that they do not feel comfortable going into barbershops because they feel it's very homophobic. The conversation, the talk, they can't relate it to. And it's been sometimes when they've been denied service simply because people can tell that they're gay. So him in there in full attire, full dress, I said, ooh. He's walking around, ready. So what's up?
Ready, exactly. And
that's war paint.
Talk about it.
Yes,
you
that's
better talk about
that's
it.
Exactly what that
that's
was.
It.
War paint.
That's it.
He walked in and said, what's up?
That's it. And I'm ready. and the experience as the actor, walking in that and being in that space with what you could assume was all straight identifying men.
Right.
I doubt that they were, but you could make that assumption because that was a part of the casting, right? We all took a picture. I talked to those men. They spoke to me in between takes. We had conversations outside of the script with all of those background actors, not the directors and everything. The director actually came in, Geeta Patel, she came and was a part of the conversations, like on the in-between, because I said, so there is no way that all of y'all gonna be up in this barbershop with me as Uncle Clifford, and we're not gonna talk about some things. So how y'all feeling?
Right.
What's going on in your head?
Right.
What is this like for you? We literally had those conversations as men, as Black men on that set. And then Agita will be like, okay, Nicco, we're ready, we set up. And I would talk, all right, y'all, we bet, let's go. You know what I'm saying? And then, but for me, I couldn't let that moment pass, that moment of being able to really touch people, like for real. This is fictitious,
right?
But the healing is reality.
That's what it's about. And that's what, everything has a purpose to it.
Yeah.
Every single thing has a purpose to it. You know, like, I'm really sad that the season is tomorrow. You know what I mean? I needed more. I needed a longer season because, like, I got into it, you know, and shout out to my good friend, Tony Bryce. Tony turned me on to this when she first said, you know, I'm about to be on the Starz show. And I said, really, Tony? I said, well, what is it about? She told me about it. I said, oh, I'm watching it. I said, listen, first of all, my ex-girlfriend, she works at the Blue Flame in Atlanta, which is a popular strip club here. So I heard some stories about what goes on there. And when I was watching it, I said, every single thing she ever told me about that's going on in this club is happening there too. I said, oh, so somebody really did their research. Like, the Blue Valley is now the biggest show in the country at the moment. Did you expect it to be this popular?
I expected it to be big. I expected our people to respond to it, for sure. And it was a prayer, it was a request, literally, for it to go beyond, and for people to see the artistic merit in it. So when you read it, if you read the script, I think you even get you get a sense of the elevation, because I can't wait. I knew it was going to be big, but I can't wait for the dissertations that are written and talked about with this show, whether that is with Uncle Clifford specifically and where she sits on the spectrum and gender identity and all these things that you're talking about, but also for empowerment, even going just to the designs, because I love the production design on the show. When I talk about the Paradise Room, you know, folks will be calling it the Cloud Room in the beginning.
It's my favorite place. I looked at that.
Yeah. Listen, because it takes Southern culture. It's talking about the cotton fields. The wallpaper is it's pictures of old slave masters picking with the barrels of cotton, with the slaves on, you know, putting the cotton in the barrel. It's called toile. That's the style of print. You have those geo patterns on your wall right there behind you. In the Paradise Room, there are all these like little pictures of plantation owners and former slaves putting barrel in the cotton with the white men over the slave masters, but it's overlayered. Uncle Clifford layered over it the Black silhouettes of the Black female bodies. They are upside down. They're in all of, you know, the traditional positions, you know, like sexy pose positions. But if you pay attention, they all have chains on their neck, the enslaved chains, but they're broken. So even so like just the design of the show, because that's written in the words. With my character, it said in the first entrance, it says, emerging from the shadows, eyelashes like butterfly wings, acrylic nails like eagle talons, Uncle Clifford. She is equally masculine and feminine in equal measure. That was the stage direction. So when you see that, you're like, that's a lot. Okay, I got a lot to work with. I got some meat to play with, you know. The dancers on the pole, Jamaica Craft, she's down there in Atlanta. She choreographed the show. Yeah, and she did that. And every twerk, every monkey drop, every scorpion, these are positions on the pole and pole techniques that I'm saying.
Yeah.
That
No.
it's written. Come on, you better know. Each one is written in the script. And the description, if it doesn't say like what the choreography is, it'll say the dancer's legs, the girls are flying high on the poles, on spinners, with legs looking like crickets singing in the night. Just that image. So as a choreographer, you got meat, legs like crickets in the night. So there's some music going. So there you go. There you go. You choreographing. You choreographing. There it is.
I'm with that. You know, one of the things I did want to touch on is all Black Lives Matter. And when I say all Black Lives Matter, I know it's certain types of Black lives they consider to be less than. As a person who plays a character who's equally male and female, you know, we talked about Black trans people being killed at an alarming rate. I think in just this last week, 3 were killed in various parts of the country. Would you like to speak on that for just a moment?
Would I like to speak on it? No.
You have to comment on it.
I don't want. No. I know what you mean, but I'm like I don't like to speak on it because I'm tired. I don't like to speak on it because it's exhausting. It's hurtful. In the beginning, not even in the beginning, but it's interesting because I never put a gradient on that statement of all Black Lives Matter. I never thought about, well, not these Black lives,
right,
or not those Black. I never even thought about it. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. But living in this world, you are met with all of those. You are met with certain ignorance,
right.
And people who are not enlightened, and people that are also hurt and can't see for whatever reason. So I choose to rest on the things I don't understand. I know my God does. So I just try to be diligent every day. I'm really conscious that this body of work can help illuminate some things for people, because I'm like, Uncle Clifford is fictitious.
Right.
But that trans woman or that non-binary person that you are heckling or that you are abusing down the street, like on Hollywood Boulevard, when I saw that
was terrible.
It infuriated me.
They got
to a point. Exactly. And then don't turn on the show and start watching the show and be like, yo, that's Uncle Clifford. Don't do that, because that's not right. That you cannot have a true reaction in life, but have something else when you're at home. That's the coming out process. Right. So I feel like the more that we can normalize human life, the more that we can express all of the types of Black lives and let go of these respectability politics, we can really get down to the real deal of honoring each other and treating each other as we want to be treated.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being yourself. Thank you for being kind. Thank you.
I can't be nobody else. I'm all day Nicco.
Positive person. It's a lot of great check marks on you, Nicco. It's really, really good. It's really refreshing. And I'm someone who appreciates you. I look up to you. Your character has definitely influenced me. And let me know, look, it's okay to be me.
Yeah.
Completely.
Listen, yeah.
I'm gonna wear this outfit. I'm gonna go to this spot. I'm gonna hang out with this person. I'm gonna have this love, and I love that. And I can see you shining through with your character. You know what? He's now a part of you.
Come on.
He's a part of you now. We love you for it. So
thank you.
On your last piece of advice, what would you give to someone who's trying to make it big in the industry, who's trying to be an actor themselves, working for that role, and they kind of like, it's never come, it's never come, it's never come?
Is this person of color?
They can be.
Okay. No, because those could be very different types of. Also, I want to be specific.
Let's talk to our people. Mm-hmm. Aspiring actor of color.
The first thing I would do is I would say understand why, because you were specific in the words that you said. You say want to make it big in this industry. That component right there, want to make it big in this industry, that is very dangerous. I personally think that is very dangerous. I think that if you are looking for anything sustainable, you are looking to express whatever is inside of you. Because if you can get in touch with what is inside of you, you will not be distracted or dismayed by what's going on out here, because it's a lot. It's a lot. There are a lot of people who seem as though they are on the same page as you because they may speak the same language, or they know about northern beans and cornbread too. You know what I mean? But they don't. I think that you have to get in touch with what stories you want to tell. So I just say read. I say do research. Definitely don't be afraid to network across, but don't look for the big fame. That would be my advice, because I got to this position because of the work that I did at the community center. The work I was working at the Yale School of Drama. I was on off-Broadway at the time, but I was also driving up to Greenburgh, Westchester, New York. That was 40 minutes outside of the city to go teach the kids at the community center. There was a level of groundedness that I think that you have to have when you think about the talent shows that you do at the church, the things that you do for the family reunion at the cookouts, you know what I mean? Those were my stages. Those were my stages. So I say, especially with technology that you have at hand, don't be afraid to use the platforms that you have for some type of good. You have to be specific with what you want. A generalization of, oh, I want to make it big in this industry is something that you can do, and you can make a hit. You can make a hit, but you don't have a classic.
Gotcha.
You don't have a classic.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
You can make it big, you can make a hit, but you won't make a classic. And that's
it.
A classic. Yeah, let's make some classics. Let's do this.
Yes, and that's on period, because we need that. We need that, you know?
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm so happy for you, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Looking forward to season 2 of P-Valley, because we know it got renewed already.
Yes. Thanks to y'all.
And everything else. It's
Come on. Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to go get my grits now, so
Listen,
I'm hungry.
I'm in New Orleans right now, so I'm about to go hit this shrimp and this grits and this gumbo. So we're going to talk. You know,
you got to have them clam, the oysters.
Oh, yes. The raw oysters. Yeah, I'm in a nice little spot. We're going to do that.
Oh, look at you all fancy and things. Hey, come on, we talk about that bang yang. Yes.
They don't know. They trying to get it, but they don't know. I stole it from Killmonger, so there we go.
Anyhow. I'm done. I can't wait for y'all to tune in to see the finale and to check in with y'all after the finale and see what all of that is like, because that's a whole.
About it. I'm be like, baby, let me tell you. Let's do this. Because I got to know what's going on with Autumn. Is it going to save the Pink? Is Mercedes going to ever get her dance studio and her baby back? Is Patrice going to become a pastor? What's going on with the mayor? And oh my God, what's his name? Is cheating on his wife? He about to. It's happening. It's about to happen.
They never had sex. So it's
not this season, but this season it's coming.
Okay. You
heard
got that prophetic word. You got that prophetic word.
I do all the writing myself, so I know. You heard it here first. All right, Nicco. Thank you, man.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. I'll check y'all later.